Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with the Fred Effect, and then we are happy to answer all the questions you have concerning your application to graduate study. And then we are also here to give you helpful tips to make you have. Okay, so hello everyone. To make you have a successful application. So please let us have your question and then we would attend to them. Okay. Okay. So whilst we wait for people to to ask their questions, can we briefly talk about some of the inspiration we've taken along with us with our study abroad journey, because we know that it's not easy to apply to study here and the process is very long. So some of the inspiration we've taken along.
Yeah. For me, it was all about graduating from the university, going through national service, and at the end of the day, you know, being able to find a job. So there was like an alternative to continue my studies. And if there is an alternative to continue my studies, where should it be? Should it be in Ghana, or can I have an opportunity to study outside? So that led to me trying to explore like opportunities in studying outside. Unfortunately, when it comes to studying outside, it has to do with how are you going to fund it? And there was nothing like support from home. And so that is why I fell on the opportunity to have scholarship to study outside. So basically, the idea of getting an alternative after my first my bachelor's degree from University of Cape Coast in Ghana, like it's sort of inspired me to start the whole study abroad journey.
No, okay. Yeah, I also had a similar experience when I was done with my national service. I was home for a while and was thinking about what to do. I looked for some job and my field of exercise science. I didn't want to go straight working in the gym. I want to do more of research. So I decided to look at furthering my education. And in my field, it's very new, and not all universities are offering masters in my field in Ghana. So I decided to start exploring study abroad options, and by being focused and then yeah, contacting people, trusting my God, I was able to get here. Yeah, that's the good part of it. Hmm. Okay. So, if you have any question, please let us know. Let us know, and then we will get you the answers. So briefly, we would briefly tackle the application process. So first of all, you know the program you want to do. Um, you prepare your document. I have a video down there for document. Fred also have a video on his channel for document and stuff. And then you start reaching out to reach out to graduate coordinators. You would check schools website to see if what they're offering is what you want. You email graduate admissions so that they will tell you, they would answer questions that you boggling your mind. Yes, they will answer all those questions for you. and then you put in your application, follow up, check your status, and you hope to have a decision with funding. Okay, so we have a question here. Um, is there a question? Okay, so Alan wants to study in USA. He wants to study. He wants a scholarship to study in Japan, US, or South Korea. So, what is your question? What do you really want us to talk about? Like, what is your question? You've tried applying, but only considered for partial scholarship. So, what do you want us to talk about? Is it the full funding or the process? Like, please make your question clear, okay? Yeah, okay. And then Michael says that I've just completed 2 year degree, 2 years of degree studying social work and sociology at Legon. Michael, please put in your question. Like, what do you want us to talk about? What do you want us to look at for you? Okay, so whilst people are putting their questions together, Mr. Fred, is there any way you could talk about how to search for schools, like quick ways of searching for schools, like something that would be easy for people?
Yeah, definitely. The go-to area for website for everybody will be Google. So depending on what program you want to study, and which country you want to study in, it's just a matter of typing that program, maybe computer science, master's degree in computer science, and if it's Canada, you add it to it. So there's a high possibility you're going to get a lot of universities that you can study this program in. Now, this will zoom you into searching for which particular school, going to the university's website. There are a lot of universities you might probably not know about in terms of their names and all that, the type of scholarship they have. So this is basically where to start from. Now, if you are able to zoom in into a specific schools that you settle on, then the next approach will be to go through the university's programs, find the HOD or the director of the program, send an email, make inquiry about admission and funding. Then you look at the admission requirement, then you start to put in your application.
Okay, great, great, great. That was a quick one over there. So you look for the school and then you send an email. The email is very important because it shows how serious you are and how committed you are. Okay. So Michael wants help with full funding at Southern Illinois University, right? SIU. Okay, so he wants funding, full funding help.
Mike,
Okay.
let's understand which level you are interested in and what program. Is it a master's degree or is it a bachelor's degree? And what program are you interested in, Michael? So definitely, Southern Illinois University Carbondale has a lot of programs, and they also have very good scholarships. I personally have a couple of friends there who are all on a full scholarship. So, Michael, what program are you interested in, and at what level? Is it a bachelor's degree, master's, or a PhD?
Okay, so whilst we're waiting for Michael to get back to us, let's look at Alan again. Alan is saying, please, how do I get my chance increase in getting fully funded scholarship with my 3.2 GPA?
Right, Alan. So your CGPA is very great. 3.2 is awesome, and to increase your chances, it has to do with communication. So, if you are able to let us know what program you are interested in, then we could probably help you with suggestions in terms of which universities you can start looking at. But most importantly, try and have put all your documents together. That is very important. Um, Build on a very strong CV, a very strong statement of purpose. The most important thing is having to communicate with the HOD or the director of the program you're interested in. Ask about admission and funding before you start to put in your application. So your chances will be increased if you actually um, have strong documentations and also communicate with the university or the department you intend to apply to.
Okay, so Michael is going for Master of Educational Technology or Food Processing Engineering. Okay, Master of Educational Technology or Food Processing Engineering.
So,
So,
Michael,
mhm.
I'll try and run a quick search as time goes on the live, so we get you a couple of schools to look at. Yeah, but I think these are very good programs, and then it's easy to get funding into such programs. So we are going to run a quick search for you. I'll make some suggestions of schools you can apply to, but most importantly, try and find the director of the program. Send them an email before you begin your application.
Okay, so that's Alan for us. Michael is social work and sociology. He did social work and sociology for 2 years.
This is great.
Yes.
So 2 years, is it like a diploma or is it a bachelor's degree, Michael?
He said it's a bachelor's degree. Yeah, bachelor's degree.
Okay. So bachelor's degree, you have 2 years in social work and sociology. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Bachelor's degree is supposed to be 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what was Michael's earlier question?
Okay, so Michael's earlier question was he wants to get full funding. He wants full funding for his masters.
Okay. So Michael, you just said you have 2 years of study in social work. If you can be clear, because we know bachelor's degree is supposed to be 4 years.
Yeah, so you can throw more light on it. Is it I don't know if we have accelerated bachelor's degree or you had a diploma before you did your bachelor's. So let us know, okay?
So Michael is saying I'm still in school. Okay, means that Michael is still in level 200 or maybe 300. So Michael, so does it mean that you want to leave to sort of have continuing your education abroad, or you want to graduate with a bachelor's degree and later leave? Let us understand that.
Okay, so whilst we wait for Michael, Prince Okai is asking when SOP is needed. So SOP is part of the application document, and you will need it you need it during your application process. So you upload it along with your CV, along with your unofficial transcript and other stuff. So you need it with the application. Okay. And then Inkechi is asking, can I get a full funding for master's degree in University of Sheffield?
Yeah, University of Sheffield is in the UK, right? So normally with the scholarships in UK, you apply into the program and then you opt for any of the scholarships, whether the Chevening, whether is the Commonwealth or Mastercard Foundation scholarship. So you have to make sure that you are applying in a period where you have opportunity to apply to any of these scholarships as well to support your education once you gain admission into the program. So yeah, University of Sheffield is a good university.
Okay. Um. So Inkechi wants to study education. Okay, so I think we've tackled Nkechi's question. Daniel Quanten is asking, I attended Ken University and they use CWA in grading. Please, can you assist me with converting it into GPA?
Yeah, certainly. Granting, what happens is that most of the universities, when you are applying to, they just give you an opportunity to upload your transcript, so there's no need to worry yourself about converting. Nobody will ask you to convert, but in case you need to convert, then that's when you have to go through what we call transcript evaluation. Now, when any other institution sort of evaluate your transcript for you, then their system will automatically change it from the CWA into the CGPA for you. So there's no need to worry yourself about the the conversion, because no university will require that you convert it. And definitely there are a lot of people who have attended K University and have had opportunity to leave to study outside without having to sort of convert.
Yeah, to come in, I attended Care University, and when I was applying, in the application portal, they asked me to put my my GPA. So I emailed the coordinator, telling him about this, and he said I should just put anything there. They know it's a CWA, and they will work with the transcript. So when you face that issue, it's good you email the coordinators to find out what you are supposed to do next. And then if you are supposed to convert it, then just as first say you need transcript evaluation. Okay. It seems you're not seeing Fred. He will come back. Okay. Um Bakwesi, yeah. So you had admission to NAU for spring, but no funding. Yes, you can defer your program to fall for full funding opportunities. Okay. So Bakwesi, you can defer your program. You can defer your program. But before doing that, email the program's director and then get to know what he or she thinks and what they'll ask you to do. Okay. So hello Harrison here. Please, what are my chances of getting full scholarship in masters in UK or USA with a 3.3 FGPA in biomedical science, especially specifically medical laboratory science? So that's from Harrison.
Harrison, when you say your chances, definitely, it's just a matter of working on the application. Your chances are high when you put in a very strong application. So it's just a matter of putting in a very strong application. That with a 3.3, I'm assuming that the overall it was over 4.0. So yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay, so we have Tim here. Timothy Gambo is asking, can you get a scholarship for a son whose aggregate is 8 at SHS?
Oh yes. With high school, normally most universities or colleges would definitely give you a partial scholarship. So a university like Norwich University will give you a partial scholarship of about $43,000. However, when it comes to the US in terms of undergraduate, notwithstanding how good your high school results are, you will have to sit for SAT or ACT to be for the school to consider you for a full scholarship. So yeah, aggregate aid is awesome, and the individual could get a partial scholarship into any university or program. Anna Maria College. There are a lot of universities out there that you get a very good scholarship, but to be considered for a full scholarship, SAT or a good ACT results is required. So you can weigh your chances if you would be able to make the time and effort to sit for the SAT or not, or you want to just have the partial scholarship and move on with it.
Okay, that's good. Prince, okay, exactly. Please, can you assist me get a sample of SOP? So
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to share a link to samples of SOP in the chat. Try and check that out. You can use that, and then you write your that should be fine.
yeah, okay. So a quick one, a brief about SOP. So SOP, you talk about your background, um, what brought you into the field you're in, and then you talk about what the field you're in is doing for you, like the skills, and then skills and techniques you're learning from your new program, and then what you are doing currently. What you are doing currently? Are you working? Are you doing national service? Are you on a research team? Um, what you are doing recently, and then why you want to go back to school. So you talk about the motivation, what the PhD or the masters will do for you, and then you finish it with why you are going to that specific school and that specific program. Okay, so that's something small about SOP. Now let's go to, is it Belly? Yes. Can I get master's degree in financial management with full funding without GRE and other test application fee and other tests and application fee waiver?
Yeah, Belly, there are definitely opportunities in financial management. Um, so normally you would probably have to relax on some of the assumptions you have. Now you want a GRE waiver, you want application fee waiver. You could sometimes get the program, but probably the university that will give you the scholarship may not be waiving the application fee, especially if you have a GRE waiver. So yeah, it depends on the search. So let's start with putting your documents together. Then you might probably not necessarily find the same program as financial management, but maybe other management programs or maybe other business related programs. And sometimes they may have GRE as a requirement, but you have if you communicate with the director of the program and maybe based on your CGP, they can go ahead and waive and as well as the application fee for you.
Okay. So Parkway here again. What's the difference between GTA and GRA? And how do you apply for them?
Uh,
Okay, so okay. Mm-hmm.
GTA is graduate teaching assistant, and then GRA is graduate research assistant. So, teaching assistant normally you assist a professor in terms of marking script, organizing undergraduate classes and all that. All right, the duties may more or less like interrelate depending on which professor or which university program or department you're working for. So, the research assistant basically your department or the professor you're working with might be undertaking some research. So you do the literature review, you do the search for articles, stuff like that. And how do you apply for them? It depends on the department you're applying to. Sometimes there is a separate application for such positions after you complete your normal application into the program. Sometimes too, you are being asked as you apply. It's embedded in the application portal. They ask you if, for example, high university, they ask you whether you want to be considered for these assistantship. When you select yes, automatically when your admission comes, it comes with the admission letter. So basically that's it.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Um so from Raymond, I have two admissions now, but did not get funding included. Is it possible to receive funding after further engagement?
Yeah, sure. Normally a lot of universities. I wish you could tell us which university, what program. But first of all, congratulations. It's a big deal to hold an admission now. Is it a fall semester? Is it a spring semester? What program is it? What level? Let us know. Yeah, definitely. Sometimes the admission comes before the funding are awarded, depending on which department, which university. So try and keep in touch with the director of the program, be grateful to them for the admission, and then ask about how the scholarships are awarded. Are you supposed to apply for it separately, or will you be automatically considered once you hold the admission?
Yeah. Okay, so Park is here again. Can one apply for PhD with a bachelor's degree since it's usually difficult to get funding for MS, for master?
Usually getting scholarship for masters, it depends on what program. So yeah, but to answer your question, you can directly apply into a PhD program if you have a bachelor's degree, and a lot of people do it, especially in the sciences. You can use your bachelor's degree, have a strong SOP, CV and stuff like that, and apply directly into PhD program. Yeah, so that's highly possible.
Yeah, it's highly possible. Um, is it possible to get full funding in USA for master's program without GRE? Yes. Yes, I didn't write GRE, but I had full funding for my master's. So, and then it also depends on the field you are in. Some field requires GRE, some fields does not. And when the COVID incident came in, like the pandemic came in, a lot of programs waived GRE, and still they are waiving GRE. So it's good to check this with your graduate coordinator as well as department page. Okay. Yeah, can I have a list of schools that accept a 2.0 to 2.5 with no application fee? This is from Gifty.
Yeah, sure. Gifty, it depends on what program you want to apply to also. So like I share some of these universities on my channel where you can apply, and they specifically state that the CGP requirement that they can admit you into. So yeah, it is.
Okay, so can Mr. Fred, can you briefly talk about English proficiency?
Yeah, so English proficiency has to do with when you're applying to a country which requires that you can write and speak English, very well. And so, if you are from an English speaking country, then normally your university or the previous institution you attended could give you a one-page document which shows that you did your high school or you did your undergrad in English, so you can write and sorry, you can write and speak English proficiently.
Yeah.
Um, if you don't have that and you are from a non-English speaking country, it means that you have to sit for IELTS or TOEFL. When you have good results from that, then you can use that as your English proficiency as well.
Yeah. And then to add to that, some schools offer 1 year of studies, like they'll give you 1 year opportunity to study English before your program, or you could take the English course alongside
Mm.
as you prepare for your class. Yeah. Okay, so Inkechi, please can I get a sample of how to develop an academic CV to upload? And what chances do I get for funding with schools in USA, UK, Canada to study education, early childhood?
Yeah, there are pile of a Google document with samples of CVs. Also, when you visit most of the universities' website, the professors in that department sometimes they have their CVs uploaded on the website already. You can check out some of those CVs, and I think that would be a good start for you. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I have a draft. Yes, I made a draft of a CV. So I would put it up. I would put it up as soon as possible so that you can have access to it. Okay. So if I am to get funding now for spring semester, is it possible to get a visa before January when school resumes? How it take considering it takes a long while for you to get a visa.
No, it actually doesn't take a long while. It depends on which country and what category of visa you're applying for. Is it a J1, F1, M1, or maybe what kind of visa? So definitely we are looking at a student visa, and depending on which country. So normally if you put in then the regular application, and of course that shouldn't scare you. You should go ahead and put in the visa application. When you get any date, that you have an opportunity to request for what we call an expedited appointment or an emergency appointment. So once your school indicated on the I-20 that classes begins in January, you are definitely going to be considered for an expedited appointment, and you're going to get a better date that sort of favors your reporting date. So that shouldn't be a problem at all.
Okay. Um, a lot of emails are not answered by professors when you want to express interest in an ongoing research. What makes a good email? What makes a good email? Are cold emails good?
Yeah, Marcus, I think this is a smart question. So let's understand that one, most professors sometimes they are unavailable, and sometimes how come they don't respond to. Also, another major cause is that when you use a traditional email like the Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Hotmail to send an email to an institutional email, because of the security sort of arrangement in the specific institution, your email may end up in their spam box. So sometimes they don't even see your email, especially when you send it with a non-institutional email. So yeah, and sometimes personally, when people send me emails, the way they go about it, professors will respond to you if your email was properly typed. So sometimes if your email is not typed very well, then that's how come you will not get a response. So you have to pay a typical example is that when you type in capital letters, it means you are shouting. And when you talk about what makes a good email, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for, you know, a request to be part of a professor's lab, you have to probably look at what the person has done and what you have also done, why you're interested in the individual's lab, and all that. So there are a couple of reasons why professors may not respond to your email.
Yeah, and then to add to that, friends, some emails like has no subject,
Right.
nothing, and they give generic greetings. Hello, um, I want to know if you have funding and then application fee waiver. No, it will go to spam actually. So your email should have heading. You should address the professor by name so that it wouldn't be a scam or spam. And then you should talk if you are right. You should include your CV. Yes, you should include your CV so that if they have anything to tell you, they'll know your CV before getting back to you. Just imagine that professor, the whole world, those who want to go to that school are emailing him.
Yeah.
So your email should stand out. Okay. Okay, so let's go on. Raymond. Okay, Raymond is saying the university, he had admission to two universities, University of Nebraska at Omaha for MPA for, and the University of Illinois at Chicago for MPA Spring. Yeah, and he said he had no funding, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so Raymond, I'm into an MPA program, so this is great. Congrats to you. So yeah, you have to keep in touch with these professors so
Mhm.
that you know um whether you're supposed to submit a separate application to be considered for the funding, or you would automatically be considered once you have the admission. That's the best place to start from. Now, if the professor gets back to you, you will know your stand and whether you should search for a university wide scholarship, email the international office or the graduate admissions office, to also let you know other opportunities you can apply to. So, yeah, congrats to you, Raymond.
Yeah. Okay, so does the offer of admission letter normally state the assistantship gain, or that comes later after receiving the letter of admission?
Yeah, Hypocrisy, it differs from department to department or university. So it depends on what the university and what their style of admission is. So a typical example is Ohio University. They have a separate application, a separate letter for, you know, congratulating you on your admission, and they will also have a separate letter which details your assistantship offer and all that.
Okay. Michael. I think we talked about Michael's question concerning the SUI carbonate. Yeah, we talked about it, right?
He said we skipped the question. I don't know what question we skipped. Michael, what
Yeah.
question was it? Okay, so Innocent is saying, Fred, please can you add any of your friends to at Carbondale to the Edwardsville WhatsApp platform? Um, okay, so yeah, Edwardsville and Carbondale Innocent, they are two different campuses.
Yeah.
So you don't know how helpful those on Carbondale campus will be to Edwardsville, but of course, yeah, that would be a good thing to also consider. We
Yeah.
see what we can do.
Okay, proof of funding. What does it involve? How does it affect I-20 if I have partial funding
So
from
proof of
faculty?
is mostly an indication that you'll be able to take care of your academics once you're enrolled in the program. So it could be in the form of scholarship, it could be in the form of a bank letter or a bank statement. So um, how does it affect your I-20? Normally, if you have a scholarship and then there is a part or a deficit to cater for, the proof of funding would sort of it's a document that the international office would demand before they issue your I-20. So yeah.
Okay. So if you have an admission with no funding and you decide to still go ahead and show proof of funding of say
Yeah.
$36,000 through a big man, how do you work to assist with payments when you get there?
It said if you have an admission with no funding and you decide to go ahead and show proof of funding, okay. So, purposely, it depends. You know, sometimes a lot of people are able to get admission without scholarship, and when they get to campus, situations change. So, there have been a lot of people with partial funding when they get to campus. You know, not everybody who gets the admission or scholarship is able to come to the school. So once you get to campus, there's the scholarships available, and there are scholarships available. They are definitely going to look for people without scholarships and then award them with that. So the most important thing is you being able to go through the visa interview successfully. Now, when you get here and you're lucky or your light shines, definitely you're going to get a scholarship.
Yeah, and also there are campus jobs that you could
Yeah.
look at. There are campus job and there are some scholarships that you could look at. Even in my program last semester, we had some students dropping off and they were on full funding, so they had to look for people to give the funding to. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so it happens. Okay, so let's talk about recommendation. Like recommendation letters. How do you suggest we choose our recommenders? Like, is there any way of choosing a recommender?
Yeah. So unfortunately,
Mhm.
recommendation letters have been like a headache for a lot of applicants. So the best way is obviously to establish a good relationship with your previous professors, and once you have an intent of you know pursuing this study abroad journey, you might want to have a discussion with them as to who you want to recommend you. Now, it makes it easier if you're able to get a soft copy recommendation letter from them because you're applying to maybe two, three schools. You don't want to be going back and forth with them in terms of the recommendation. So what you do is that once you have the soft copy, some universities like high university gives you the opportunity to upload the soft copy of the recommendation letters. Remember, it has to have a letterhead, be colored, signed, maybe stamped by the professor, stuff like that, and then you'll be able to upload it. So if not, then you should build a good relationship with the professor who is supposed to recommend you. Now sometimes even though you're supposed to type the email address of the professor there, if they are delaying in responding and you have these soft copies, you can easily email it to the admissions office, explain to them why the professor is unavailable to recommend you, and you may be lucky that they would attach those documents to your application package, and that should be fine.
Okay. Okay, so Michael came with a full question now. I am moving to level 300 and I am applying to SIU Carbondale as a transfer student to study social work. I have 3.44 GPA. Please help me with full funding. I already qualified for High Achievers Award already.
All
Okay.
right. Yeah, I think now Michael's question is clear. So, Michael, what you have to understand is that just like I indicated, in terms of undergraduate application,
Mm.
you would only be considered for full funding from the school, except maybe you're applying to an external scholarship, which does not require that. If you have a good SAT or ACT results, that really helps. So you have to talk to the director of the program or the undergraduate admissions office. Ask about which other scholarships are available for you to apply into before you finally make a decision. Are ACT or ACT results um, required before being considered for such scholarships. Yeah. So
Okay. Okay, so Innocent wants to be linked to the people in Cabodel. Okay. So Fred would send a link. Yeah. You can DM Fred on his Twitter or Instagram. I'll put his link here so that he will send you the link to his friends there. Okay, Pakwesi, do schools have to see official transcript first before approving funds? School usually demand for official transcripts. Yeah. So, concerning your application, you would use your unofficial transcript, but when you want to enroll, you will need your official transcript. Some schools give full funding without even asking for official transcripts, but you have to provide it before you enroll. But some other schools may require. So it depends on what your school is asking for. So please communicate with your school and then see how you go about it. And when you are asked to submit an official transcript, you can send it as an email to the school. So your school where you did your undergrad could send the transcript to the school you're applying to's Gmail or email, simple like that, and they can also mail it to them. Some schools will require that you will do evaluation, so find out from them how they want your transcript sent to them. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so whilst you're waiting for more of your questions, this is the application season. This is the application time. So to be considered fully, please put in your application as soon as possible, because the earlier you do it, the best for you. You get full consideration. Full consideration means if there is 100 scholarship, you'll be part of the first people that will consider you for the scholarship. But if you wait till the last minute, it means that maybe they have considered all the 100 people and they are waiting for the others to drop before they put you in, and you may end up getting partial funded. So if you want to apply, just put in your application as soon as possible so that you wouldn't have any delays or partial funding. Okay, there's a question here. Okay, so for HND, who has done WES evaluation in terms of submitting official transcript? Will I still send that of my school or that of WES official transcript is okay? Yeah, so the WES official transcript is okay. Yeah, because the WES would go to your school and verify your transcripts before doing the evaluation. Yeah, that's all you need. Okay, so can I have a sample of CV for graduate study in the USA? Yeah, there are lots of samples around which you can have access to that. And I'm preparing a video on CV, how to write a good CV for your graduate school application. So let me quickly run through what you will need for a CV, and then we move on. Let me see. Okay. So first, you have your name on top, you have your email address, and then mail plus your telephone number. Okay. And then you have a short personal statement, about two sentences describing what you can do, who you are, just a two sentence about yourself. And then you talk about your education. So education, you are talking about something after senior high school. So you talk about your bachelor's. So the name of the program, your GPA, and then the year you graduated, plus the school's name. And then you come to talk about your work experience. So how do you write your work experience? You write your position, you write a company name, location, country, and then you write the start time and then the end, whether it's current or not. Then you list your duties. So your duties, you talk about what you were asked to do or what you do. So I teach this subject to this student, to undergrad, or I teach this subject to basic schools. So you say your duty and you keep on listing them, and you talk about relevant short courses or training or achievement, and then you add your publications if you have one. Okay, I think we have some more questions to talk about. um okay, so please, can you skip NSS when you get admission for MSc? This question is from Prince.
Right. So yeah, definitely it depends on you and what plans you have. If you think that you know the NSS may probably not impact you in later life, then that's absolutely fine. You can start your applications while you are in level 300 or 400. You have like 3 year transcript and you're able to get all the required documents. A lot of people just move right away after their bachelor's degree. So definitely you can do that, and it depends on you how you want to plan your life and stuff like that.
Okay, so funding without insurance, without health insurance, what are the effects and what are the contingency plans?
Of course, most scholarships do not cover health insurance, so you would be once you'll be receiving stipends, you will be able to have like a payment plan for other fees, including health insurance, and definitely be able to sort that out. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Fred, do you have some encouraging words for them whilst we wait for people to go through the application, like, and ask questions they are going through, they want answers to?
So yeah, what happens is that at any point in time, there's going to be a challenge when you're going through this whole application process. A lecturer may not be willing to recommend you. It will be difficult trying to get a supervisor in case you need one. Sometimes you type an email to a professor, they don't respond. There are definitely going to be challenges. You may probably not be having money to pay for application fees, but if you are very determined that you want to do this, remember that you are not the only person you are not the first person to study abroad. You wouldn't be the last person. A lot of people have gone through this, and that's why some of us are here to be able to assist you through the process. Normally, people do not share the challenges, the struggle, the hassle they go through when they finally are able to make it abroad studying outside. So it has not been easy for anyone. It wouldn't be easy for anyone as well. Yours is to persist. If it was easy, everybody would have done it. So there are a lot of information out there. There are a lot of people like ourselves here that you can reach out to. We are creating a lot of content, putting them out there for free so that you can also make life easier for yourself, have access to some of these videos, have some of these posts that we share, universities waiving application fees and stuff like that, making life very easier for you. So yours is to be determined. um you are the only one who can push yourself, and you have to know how bad you need this to be able to encourage yourself to work towards it.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions? Yeah, so the encouragement comes from within. You have to encourage yourselves, and we are here to also encourage you, as Fred said. Okay. So how is the visa process going? How is the visa process?
Yeah, so once you gain admission, it depends on whether you would have to provide a financial document for your I-20 to be released. Now, once your I-20 is being released, depending on which country you are, you have to start with what we call the DS-160 application. Now, whether it's an M1, which is a vocational program, a J1, which is maybe a government sponsored scholarship, or an F1, that will determine whether you're supposed to pay the service fee or how much you're supposed to pay. So you pay for the visa application fee, you schedule an appointment depending on which country you are, and then yeah, you prepare for the visa interview. And that is one aspect that a lot of people also are bothered about, because of the perceptions that people have going to the embassy. Think we have some questions, right?
Yeah, okay. So Raymond, how do you provide certificate and declaration form and proof of funding meanwhile you are applying for financial aid?
All right. So
Mhm.
Remo, it
Yeah.
depends on the university you're applying to. Sometimes it is simply part of the application requirement. A university like Southern Illinois Carbondale, everybody that I know over there have a full scholarship. However, they they require that as part of the application document, you provide um a proof of funds or certificate or declaration form, just like you said. It's simply part of the application document, and so you need to provide that before you can go ahead with the application. So it's just a prerequisite.
Yeah, and then to do that, there is a form on the school's website. So you go print it and then you fill it out. And the one giving you the bank statement would also sign and then you upload it. Okay. Yeah. So please, can you give me a link of various public schools in USA? Woo.
Oh yeah, so I mean there are a lot of websites where you can find the public universities. You can decide to Google state by state. So you can Google like public universities in, maybe you can Google all the states in the US, and then maybe you take it one after the other. Maybe all public universities in Alabama, all public universities in Michigan, or anything like that.
Okay, so what means did you use to pay for service fee?
Yeah, but then you can. Unfortunately, the service fee can only be paid in the U.S. So if you are able to reach out to somebody in the United States, then you find a means of transferring the money to the individual. The person can pay via Western Union, or maybe a money order or a bank check. So yeah, reach out to somebody in the U.S. It could be through your international office, or it could be a friend you know already here in the US, and the person will be able to help you out. If you're not able to get anybody, you can reach out to me on Twitter, or maybe via email. We see how best we can help you out.
Okay. And whilst we keep on taking questions, if you've not subscribed to this channel yet, kindly subscribe, like, and share. Click on the notification bell, and you would be notified anytime I post a new video. Also, I have numerous videos on this page, and then you could check them out. Okay.
All right.
So, Prince, saying Fred, can I have your email address for assistance in the application process? Yeah.
Yeah, remember you can also reach out to Abigail. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and also reach out to her whenever you need assistance to. Prince.
Okay. Yeah. And then please save this video. So okay, we will do it. We will save it so that you can have access to it. Okay. And then when the when the program when the live is over, you have access to this video and you can watch it over and over again. Also, Fred has a channel. You could also visit the channel as well. Okay. Good. Do we have any other questions whilst we wait for more questions? We have some few minutes to go. Yeah.
Yeah, we have like 6 minutes to go.
Mhm.
Right. So, guys, you can share the link, and then you know type your questions in the chat, and then we are going to respond to them. Remember, it is highly possible. You can definitely do it. Whenever you need assistance, just reach out to Abigail at any point in time.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Since there are no questions, we end here, right? What?
Yeah. Since there are no questions, I think we've answered everybody's question. Okay. So some few words, some few words. What? Take, go home, or go home, take, or take away words.
Okay. So
Some few words.
use
Okay.
my
So
few.
I am a second year student of public health. Can I continue my studies in any Canada or US schools with scholarship? I'm a first class student.
Yeah, Joel, that's called a transfer student. So, first of all, remember you have to reach out to the university or college you want to apply to and see if their curriculum aligns with what you're already studying. So, you have to tell them what you have, send them your first and second year transcript so that they would, know what you're studying and see what program you can fit into. And it's possible a lot of people do it, but you have to be very effective in terms of communicating to them so that they will understand where you've got into in terms of what program you're studying and what program you can fit into in that university you want to transfer into.
Okay. So, if there are no questions, oh, we'd like to say thank you very much for joining us today. And then, thank you very much for spending some time with us. And if you have any question, comment, suggestion, you can leave it in the comment section below. And then from time to time, I will attend to you. I
Right.
have my social media handles there. So I'll leave it in the description box after this live so you can have access to my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook account, and then you would reach out to me on that. Okay. So if there are no questions, Fred, thank you very much for spending some time with us, and then we appreciate, um, yes, we appreciate your presence and the deep insights you've given us. So, final words.
Yeah, so we encourage everybody to subscribe to the Study Abroad Diaries. There are a lot of insightful content and information here. That once you subscribe, you click on the notification bell so that anytime a new video is uploaded, you'll be the first to be notified, so that you can easily check it out. Yeah, so thank you for joining us. Remember, it is highly possible, and you can really do it.
Okay. Then, bye bye.